So welcome everybody. Today, my thought for you for meditation was we're going to try a little bit of a technique that is open-eyed. So often when we meditate is we're requested or it's suggested that we close the eyes and we go inside. So we're actually closing out the outside world and focusing just on what's going on inside. And most of the time I love that approach. I think it's really helpful. And also, it's very interesting to let your mind start to learn to be in a restful or a more peaceful state while your eyes are actually open. So it's being able to discern or being able to hold that space of meditation even when you are still functioning outside of use, right? Because we want the mind to be able to stay in that state of calm or that state of rest and still be able to live our life without having to always say, well, I have to stop and sit and just meditate in order to get my mind there. We want to train the mind to be able to do that even when we are interacting outside. So I have my little candle here, and hopefully this will work with the screens. But the idea is that we'll do a little breath first, but then when we get to this aspect of meditation, it's actually going to go from open eyes to closed eyes. And then I'll explain it a little bit more when we get there. But be prepared that you're going to have your eyes open for part of your meditation today. But to begin, just start to bring your hands to your belly, please. Yep. And then start to get in touch with your breath, which means that as you're inhaling, let the belly expand. So not the same as we sometimes say to breathe focused into the belly and to push the hands with the navel or to purposefully expand the navel. But instead, can you just use the hands as reference to feel that your belly is allowed to expand? The breath is filling everything as it moves into the body. So it's expanding the chest, it's expanding the ribs, it's expanding all the way down through the navel. Without the thought that that means that you have to push to an extreme. So the boundaries of you, the edges of you, are not limitation, they're containment. You find the edge of your breath. It's not the, oh, that's as far as I can go. It's a feeling of, there's fullness. And there's softening. Letting the breath lead you into a place where there is less concern. You have a sense that on the inhales, you can actually feel like the breath is expanding beyond the boundaries of your skin. In the exhale, maybe it all falls back into the containment of the body. Just letting your mind experience that feeling of boundary a little different. If your mind wants to think about a lot of things, just bring your attention to that tangible feeling of the hands on your belly, solidness of your rib cage even as it expands and contracts. Heaviness of your pelvis. The feeling of your skin. The breath is allowed to move as wide as it wants. There is always the container of the body that will receive the breath. The mind becomes part of the breath, expanding beyond the limitations that it feels of the body. But then it comes home. On the exhale, it comes home. Every breath, no matter how far the breath goes or the mind wanders, the exhale, it comes home. And at the end of your next breath, bring yourself home, back to the feeling of the body, back to the container of the body. And let the eyes float open. Nice. I want you to just start to kind of tap or use the hands all over the body. So little, what do you even call this? You're not hitting yourself, but you're you're tapping along the arms, along the legs, fingertips to your chest. I want you to just move some things. So all along your legs, all along your arms. Good. You can even do your head. Yeah, gently do the face. Nice. Again, we are still in this strange situation where we are probably sitting too much, staying in the same position too much. Spring moving into summer, it's the time to move things that are stagnant, so move some stuff. Good. Nice. And then pay attention to your seat. So however you set yourself up to begin, if you need to change your seat, I want you to do it. If you need to stretch your legs out, you can do that. If you need props underneath you to feel comfortable, I want you to do that. I want your seat to be something that your mind doesn't have to be constantly looking at while you're practicing meditation. It's the idea. So pay attention to how you feel. Good. Make sure you have what you need. And then we're going to do a form of meditation. It's called Trataka, and it's usually done open-eyed. So you have a visual focus on the outside that you are putting your attention on. So in this case, it's going to be a candle flame. And again, hopefully this will work. And as you stare at the candle flame, again, it's letting the mind go into that one-pointedness. So your whole focus is on that candle flame and everything else sort of fades to the background, but you're letting the mind expand through that concentration. And hopefully you'll have a sense of that as you do it. But what happens is that you want the eyes to be open and soft. So you're trying not to blink. And you're trying to just let the eyes stay softly open, gazing at the candle flame. At some point, you are going to have to, you're going to feel the real desire to just close your eyes. And that's fine. When the eyes close, you hold the mental image of the flame as though it hasn't changed at all. And you hold that mental image so the mind stays focused on that one point. And then when you feel ready to, you open the eyes again. Come back to the outside visual image. Again, holding the gaze as long as you can. Eyes relaxed. And then when you need to, you close your eyes and you bring the visual inside. But the mind is focused on the one visual point the entire time. So we're going to give it a try. Turn the lights down. The middle too. Yeah. All the way down. Good. Turning the lights down a little bit so that maybe you can see this better. So with your comfortable seat, try to bring your attention to that candle flame, and I'm going to try to adjust the lights again. but keep your gaze there. Again, eyes soft. There you go. Good. Stay present with that. If the visual image is difficult to see or it's not quite filling your vision, if you can just imagine that there is a still point of light like a candle flame. Just bring that into your mind, and you can still practice with eyes softly open, just holding that image in your mind. When the eyes are ready to close, you can allow them to close, but hold the image steady. Whatever is running in the background of the mind, don't try to change it, evaluate it. Just absorb your attention into that candle flame. And eyes softly open for as long as you can. And when the eyes close, hold the image internally. And when you're ready, let the eyes open again. Find the outside experience. Let that flame expand before your eyes. The eyes remain soft. So rather than trying to narrow your vision to hold just that one image, let the one point of light expand to fill your vision. Edges of the mind are soft. Allowing that sense of boundary between inside and outside to become a little bit hazy. The image of the light transcends the boundary. Your eyes are open. Let them gently close, bringing the image of that candle flame inside. But hold it still. And keep feeling that the edges of the mind are hazy, are soft, and the light fills your vision. And then release the image of the light. Connect again to just the feeling of your breath. And let the breath move back into the body or your experience of the body. And let the eyes float open when you are ready. Good. I would say, how was that? But you're muted, so you can't tell me. But it's an interesting practice, right? So Trataka is the opportunity to start to, they say it's helping to purify the senses, because you're going from the outside, right? Our senses are what connect us to the outside world, is you're allowing that connection to exist. And at the same time, you're asking the mind to stay in a state that is still, but focused, right? Meditation is that combination of both, is that it's a mind that is focused, meaning that it's not wandering in 1,000 different directions, but at the same time it's relaxed. So there's no kind of obsessive drive to try to get somewhere. So it's a tricky place to create, and that's what we say, that meditation is something that we practice, because we don't create that state. That state already exists. Right? So everything that we do is allowing the mind to start to feel that it has this expansive quality, but that expansive quality is also a relaxed quality, right? It's not trying to achieve anything. So it's very interesting to practice meditation with your eyes open in some variation, because it gives you that sense that you can stay in that relaxed state, even though your senses are engaged, right? You're still paying attention to the world. So if that's something that you enjoyed, you can certainly do this at home. It sometimes actually is, all the time actually, easier if you have the focus actually right in front of you. So a candle is a great option. It can be done with any sort of a visual image. So if you have something like a yantra, or you have just a picture of a being that inspires you that you wanted to use, you could use anything. The idea is the same, though, is that you let the attention stay focused on the visual outside, and then when the eyes close, the same visual exists inside. You hold the image, and then you open the eyes again and repeat and continue for just as long as you're doing the meditation for. So just another opportunity, because meditation, we don't want to be something that is stuck with, I sit still and I close my eyes and I push the rest of the world out. We want to be able to stay in that state as we're living in the world. Just another something for you to play with. Okay, so we're going to come to another breath. So as you are, again, change your seat if you need to change your seat. We're going to come back to that feeling of breathing into the belly. We're doing a 3-part breath. So again, let yourself find where you are expanding all the way down below your navel with your inhales. And I want you to now have your attention focused in that area of the body. So as you're inhaling, you're focusing on the expansion of the belly. And the exhale, you're focusing on the relaxing of the belly. And then on your next breath, I want you to feel that as you inhale, you're filling the belly and that breath rises up to expand your lower rib cage out to the side, right and left. You're inhaling into the belly and into your middle ribs. Focus on that feeling of expanding and on the feeling of relaxing. The rib cage softens in as you exhale. And as you inhale, the belly expands and the ribs go out to the side, right and left. It's like a fountain, right? You're bringing the breath all the way down deep into the cavity of the body. Good. And bring the attention to the top of the chest so that as you inhale, the breath is expanding from the belly all the way up through the ribs, up into the top of the chest around your collarbones, and feel that area lift and widen. And as you exhale, it softens. Good. And every inhale, the collarbones lift, the top of the sternum lifts, back of the shoulder blades expand and soften. And then try to find that full breath where you follow the breath in. As you inhale, you fill the belly, feel it. Feel the rib cage expand sideways. Feel the chest lift up and expand. And then exhale, release everything out. And then same thing, as you inhale, you're expanding the belly. You're expanding your ribs. You're lifting and expanding the chest. And then you're exhaling all the way out. Just training those breathing muscles. So as you inhale, you're expanding the belly, expanding the ribs, expanding the chest. Exhaling all the way out. We practice breathing so that we increase our capacity for breath. Keep going. Inhaling belly, middle ribs, upper chest. Exhaling all the way out. For those who practice pranayama, this might seem like one of the simplest. It's usually one of the first breaths that we learn. And so in our minds, we get bored with it very easily. So can you keep looking for that feeling that there's a sense of finding your capacity, finding your edges, and then staying soft as you find those edges, so that there's a chance for there to be greater expansion and greater release. It's a simple breath, but it's the one that teaches the body how to hold breath, how to really contain it. Good. At the end of your next breath, pause for a moment. We're going to reverse the flow of what we just did. So you're going to inhale your breath with no direct thought, to just fill the body with breath. Inhale fully. And then you're going to exhale in 3 parts. So exhale from the top of your chest. Pause. Exhale through your middle ribs. Pause. Exhale through the belly. Feel the navel draw in. And pause. And then inhale full breath, nice and steady and smooth. And then exhale, release from the upper chest, release from your middle ribs, release from your belly. Good. And then inhaling full breath again. And this is how you're continuing as you exhale from the top of the chest, from your ribs, from the belly. Good. And then inhaling again. Watch how hard you are struggling to control the exhale. It's not important to control it. But can you notice that you can release the air from the top of the chest and feel that? And you can release the air from the ribs and you can feel that. And you can release the air from the belly. You can soften. And then a full breath in. Again, this is training your capacity for inhaling and exhaling. We don't often do this breath this way, but it's equally important to be able to understand the parts of your exhale as it is to understand the parts of your inhale. Your ability to exhale fully increases your ability to inhale. So if you want to have deeper breaths, fuller breaths, practice exhaling. Good. Last breath, breathing all the way in. And then as you exhale, top of chest, middle ribs, belly and below. Good. And then just let the breath return to its natural flow, whatever the inhale looks like, whatever the exhale looks like. You can start to feel when you breathe consciously this way and you're focused on all parts of the breathing apparatus, the actual muscles that are involved in breathing, as you can feel where the limitations are. Or you could feel the points on either the inhale or the exhale where you felt your body start to tense. You felt like there was a struggle of I should be able to hold more breath here, but somehow I can't, my body's resisting. It's how we start to know where there's an opportunity to create more flexibility in the body, where we need to have more movement in the shoulders, in the back, in the spine, in the neck, shoulders. Said that twice. Good. And let the eyes float open, please. Nice. Do a little movement. So dropping the head into some nice neck circles. Again, those places that you felt are the particular places in your body that were resisting deeper breaths. Maybe there's something you can do that might feel like it stretches that part of the body. Good. So it might be doing a little bit of cat-cow. It might be giving yourself a nice cross-armed hug, arms across the body. Might be hands behind your head with your elbows wide, like that. Dave's mom leaning back, that's perfect. Yeah, nice heady. Good. And then bring yourself back to stillness, please. Again, changing your seat if necessary. Good. And one more little seat for meditation. So finding that seat, you are going to close the eyes again, but if you like the idea of having the eyes open, you are welcome to have the eyes softly open. You're always welcome to have your eyes open in meditation. But the eyes closed so that you can bring your attention again inward. And we're going to go back to this meditation on an inner flame. So the image of a light. But this time I want you to place that light at the center of the heart. So you're bringing your attention out of the mind space and you're bringing it down into that heart space. So literally in the heart, however this appears to you, that there is a flame. It can be a candle flame, it can be like a sun, it can be any version of light that works for you. And I want you to hold that attention at the heart space, in the image of light. And if your mind needs something to do, the mantra sound that you're going to repeat to yourself is Harim. H-R-I-M, Harim. So if your mind is getting distracted, start to repeat that to yourself mentally with every breath. Harim. It's the seed sound for the heart. What is one of the seed sounds for the heart? You are holding attention on that light that exists at the heart space. You're allowing that attention to be focused but relaxed. The moment we start to focus the mind, there's usually a rising up of thought. Let it rise up. Let it do whatever it wants to do in the background. And let your attention rest focused and soft on the light that sits at the heart. If the mind needs something to do, you're repeating the sound Hrim. Enjoy the feeling of that light at the heart expanding to fill your vision. Fill the container of the mind. There's nothing you're supposed to see or feel. Just the mind allowed to be focused and relaxed. And allow that focused image of the light to fade or keep it. If it wants to stay in the front, in the central part of your mind, let it stay. And bring the attention back to the breath. Bring the attention back to your seat. Remember that that light is always there. We call that the Jiva Atman, the seat of your individual soul energy. It's beyond the mind, lives at the heart. Anytime the mind is confused, that's a place you can tap back into, put your attention there. Let the mind come back to this place that is a little bit more still. And then let your eyes float open as you're ready. So the focus today, all of this idea of concentrating the mind, as we call it dharana. In Sanskrit, it means concentration, one-pointed concentration. And it's said that when we can perfect that one-pointed concentration, the mind gets so good at staying focused that it spontaneously expands into the meditative state. So that's what we're doing. That's what you're doing every time you're allowing your mind to get focused and relaxed, is you're letting it start to slide into that state of stillness that's always there, but we're usually not paying attention to, right? So if you're wondering what is meditation about, it's exactly that. It's letting your mind be in a restful state no matter what you are doing or not doing, and letting it slide into that experience of stillness. Never be upset if your meditation doesn't go the way you wanted it to, because all you're doing is trying to slide into a space that is a little bit more still. And if you get confused, go to the heart. Meditate there, the light there. Use the word Harim, sound for the heart. Thank you guys so much. Bring your hands together, please. Thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. I will see you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Veronica.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Have a beautiful
Thank you.
day.
How did the Trataka go? How did that work with the candle flame and